All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of What's What BR. We have again with us Mayor Sharon Weston. Broome, how are you?
Doing great, doing great.
Now,
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
it is, and I believe summer is officially here. It is. I got out of the car the other day, and it is hot. So,
Well, Brandon, what I tell people oftentimes, I tell them we put the H in humidity.
yeah, that's. I talked to somebody the other day. They were from Arizona. They were like, "Man, it's hot here." I'm like, "You ain't got nothing on us. Come on down here and have some humidity. With your heat. That'll amplify it." But no, I jumped out at Home Depot the other day. It was just like, God, dog, it really is. It's summertime. Start time to cracking windows again. So, so anyway, I appreciate you making some time for us. Looks like we're gonna try to do this more often, but we had a couple things we wanted to talk about. The last show went over so well, everybody liked it. You made some time for us again, and just candid talk of what's going on. First thing I wanted to kind of dive into, was I was reading, and we're getting timely with summer coming up. Is this workforce, this youth workforce experience that you've got put together, this initiative. Tell me what I've read a little bit, but for anybody who's in the dark, what's the
Yeah.
short?
One of the highest requests that we get in my office is surrounding the mayor's summer youth program, workforce program. And so what we now call it is the mayor's youth workforce experience. And we give our young people opportunities, our students to learn experientially and make some cash. So people can apply, students, by going to brla.gov /mayor's youth workforce, brla.gov /mayor's youth workforce, and they can find the application at the bottom of the page. Of course, there's limited space, so it's for this summer cohort. So I'm going to encourage all young people who are interested to read all of the requirements carefully and then complete the application. But I tell you, this students that have been involved historically in our program leave very fulfilled.
So where are they working? Are they working in city government offices, and are they following you around all summer?
No, they're working all over the place. They're working in government, they're working in private industry. And so there are a lot of different opportunities that we present. And we also use this workforce experience for our youth to build some skill sets around leadership development. So it's a very holistic program. And of course, who doesn't want to have a little cash in their pocket to prepare for the next school year? So our students and our parents really appreciate it.
No, I like that. How old do you have to be?
You have to be 16 years old, I believe.
So I can't lie and put my 13-year-old in.
Yeah. Unless
So,
they have, Brandon, unless they have changed the age requirements, but I believe it's 16. But all of that information is on the bottom of is on the application.
gotcha. Well, I think I think more kids, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not beating up on schools and school systems
Mhm.
by any means, but there's a lot of skills that they lack.
Mhm.
Even the straight A valedictorian coming out of school, some basic, life skills. Just there's a couple that I wish school would, teach some of the kids that we see. And I think it's important if you're, let's say it's 16, to be able to start contributing back. Like I said, get some money in your pocket, but be able to go and say, I understand how, this works. I understand, that I can, contribute, I can make some money. I've performed in a job. I know what it's like. I
Yes.
talked to somebody the other day who they came and interviewed actually with us, and they had graduated a couple semesters back, about a year ago, I guess, COVID. And they were like, this is my first interview. Because that was like your first interview, like nothing, didn't even wait a table, bus a table in, high school or weekends. And so I don't know. I think it's a great way to get people indoctrinated into, hey, we get up and go to work every day.
Absolutely. I will tell you this. One of the principles that I think is applicable across the our young people's life from pre-K on until they graduate from high school is the more exposure, the more experience that they have before they get into the workforce, right? In a big way, is certainly adds value to who they become as an individual, as an employee, as a entrepreneur, all of that. And so these experiences, I guess what I'm saying, certainly contribute to the fabric and growth and development of our young people. It helps build character as they move forward.
Yeah, I saw a post on LinkedIn the other day where it was a teacher, not from here, but it was a teacher who worked with a bunch of students, a bunch of guys that didn't have fathers in their lives. And,
Yes.
he was putting them into, like a coat and a tie and teaching them how to, shake someone's hand and look them in the eye. Those are some, like, you don't have that. There's not a class in school, for that, but you need to be able to. If you've knocked through a couple of programs like this, I think it'd be, great for people to learn some of that stuff, and just it makes a better person at the end of the day.
Absolutely. And Brandon, my fact checkers have been listening to our conversation, and so they are telling me that I need to make a correction, that our Mayor's Youth Workforce Experience individuals can be in middle school. How about that? They have to be at least in middle school. So that means we're looking at 12, probably 13 years old.
So my daughter's signing her up today.
So get that application in.
It's coming.
Middle school.
That's perfect. No, I've been telling her that she needs to get a job. I talked, digress on it. I wrote an article last month. She turned 13 last month, and I used to make the joke with her that on her 18th birthday, or on her 13th birthday, I was going to put this countdown clock in her room till her 18th birthday, that she either had to be moved out or be able to be moved out, at the time. And what I wrote about was it hit me. It was a ton of bricks that it used to be like a motivation for her, and we always joked about it, but it was like, oh, that's my countdown. I got 5 years to have this girl ready, to be, welcome to society, be contributing, functioning, learning how to change a tire, all those things. And so really wasn't her countdown clock, it was mine. And so This is right in line with where my list of things to do are, to get her learning. Like, you get up, you go to work, try if you can.
Absolutely. The deadline is Friday, May 7th.
Oh, wow. So people need to go right now. So, well, that's awesome. Jumping, got some updates to Move BR. There's some new things that are going on here. I don't know how many people are following this, but I try to keep a pulse on it and tell us what's happening, there. We've got a lot of cool things and some really new things that are going to be, people are going to see.
Have you noticed the new signals featuring a flashing yellow arrow? Have you noticed those?
I saw it on the site.
Okay.
I went to the website and full disclosure, I had not, seen it, but it's for everybody. This is not a right arrow. This is a left arrow.
It's a left arrow. So the new signals have a flashing arrow in addition to the red, yellow, and green arrows. And so the flashing yellow arrow allows waiting motorists to make a left-hand turn after yielding to oncoming traffic and pedestrians. So the goal behind this light is to move more traffic through intersections and improve roadway safety in our parish. So smile when you see those left turn signal lights evolving around the city and parish. We also can expect to see the continuation of projects that we started in 2020, but also ramp up in our project design phase. So the talk of the town right now, of course, is light synchronization that's taking place, as well as the new flashing yellow arrow signals.
And that's taking, I was reading as well, it's pulling, fiber optic cable out to the lights, connecting these lights for people who don't understand. So
Yeah.
we're trying to just keep a flow on surface streets, at that point to where not, race up to one light, stop, race to the next one and stop, to really get these things kind of, because I think we've got cameras at a lot of intersections, but that just lets us look and see where people are frustrated at, right?
Right.
And actually control them opposed to all these people who think like flashing their lights is going to change it, or I've heard every story in the world, try to get the light to change, but we're
Yeah.
actually doing this now.
Exactly. And I will tell you firsthand, I've experienced the benefits of light synchronization. I went on a test run in some areas of our city, and so it's working. And the more we do it, the more I believe we'll see that traffic moving around.
I think it's going to the left turn seems to be a little bit different. Like I remember when, what is it? I love the way we do streets. Like they just change in the middle, like Sherwood, Segan, Airline, that whole intersection years ago was completely changed to some new concept. And I even remember driving through it like, how is this going to work? Am I going to hit somebody? But it was that whole new flow,
Mhm.
but it made a huge difference at the end of the day.
Yeah, and let me tell you, I've been driving for 100 years, and so you really have to be skilled if you don't have those lights to know when to make that left turn. Even on when it's kind of the green and you're right at the edge of the light changing. You gotta really be skilled, and it's so I'm really glad we have these left turn signals. I think they'll certainly add value to our traffic experience.
Oh, I can personally attest. I have a brother that was in a horrible traffic accident doing a left turn, horrible accident, and I think these would make could have made a difference there possibly. We'll never know, but at the end of the day, it's improvement. And it's not, we're going to retrofit some intersections, right? It's not just new, coming.
Correct.
It's trying to get to
Oh, yes.
the popular
Absolutely.
ones.
Absolutely.
So that's good. Next, the elephant in the room, the 800-pound gorilla, the vaccination site, go get vaccinated, and, federal, vaccine information. What's the latest, not from a by no means investigative, but more just kind of the pulse. What are you hearing?
Well, let me start off, Brandon, by saying this, because sometimes there are debates around the vaccine, and what I'm not here to do today is to debate, but I'm here to certainly make the vaccine available to individuals, because we want to get. You've heard the term herd immunity. I heard one of our LDH doctors, Dr. Marcel, describe it as community immunity. Which certainly makes life easier for us. It helps us to open up even in a stronger way when people are vaccinated. Now, this is what I share with people. If you have any hesitancy around the vaccine, talk to your doctor, talk to another trusted healthcare professional, and see what they say. I've heard a lot of reasons surrounding vaccine hesitancy. That's why I say, certainly, I'm not a medical doctor, but I have been vaccinated. I feel comfortable and safe in getting the vaccination. And I think that's why you see a lot of leaders do it, trying to lead by example. But if there's still hesitancy, I encourage people to talk with their medical provider and get some information. I talked with someone the other day, and they were telling me their reason around the hesitancy. And it had to do with they didn't know what was in the vaccine. And so that information is online if you want to know what the content is in the vaccine. So, but we are doing our best to make the vaccine available. So we have a mass vaccination site where people can get vaccinated free. They can walk up, drive up. It's at the Bon Carré Center, right on Florida Boulevard. And so what we need to know, though, is that, as we look at the statistics, 1 in 4 Louisianians are fully vaccinated right now. And here in Baton Rouge, we want to be the model for the rest of the state on vaccinations. So we're at about 30%, maybe a little bit more in EBR, but we must continue to encourage people to get vaccinated. In addition to that site, we have other sites around the community. So I call that site the wheel, and the site at Bon Corral, Florida. And then we have other sites all around the community, which I consider the spokes. And so we're making it available to people to get vaccinated. So we don't want anybody to miss out.
Yeah, if you want it, it's there. And if you have questions, go to someone reputable, not to Facebook. So
amen.
Enough, I tell people, I hear it all the time, people, did you hear about XYZ? Where'd you hear that? Oh, I was reading on Facebook. I'm like, did you do any type of, was there any verification on it at all? And so it drives me insane when Facebook becomes a reference.
I agree with you. And I will tell you, I want people to make informed decisions because, we have to live with the choices that we make. And I have told people already, if you have any fear or apprehension about taking the vaccine, I encourage you not to take it at this moment, but get your fears alleviated and relieved, get some information, be informed, and go into it, with all, be vigilant in pursuing it. So that's my encouragement.
Yeah, no, that's what I tell everybody. We got to go, I think in college you weren't allowed to even cite, Wikipedia as a reference because just anybody could go edit, that. And so it's like, take some of that same logic, go find somebody that'll take some time. And I told somebody, everybody's got their opinions on it, but I told somebody the other day, same kind of thing. It's like, call the doctor, just tell them you want to talk about it. That's what they're there for. They may not be.
Absolutely.
You may not normally, do that, but if you've got real concerns, go forward, do it. So.
Absolutely.
So, but it is going well. It sounds like people are moving, we're getting, numbers are there. We've got it for people who want it. And that's all we can do. We can't.
Yeah. We're still striving towards community immunity, and we're making, as I said, opportunities available and free for anybody who wants to be vaccinated. So listen, you just talked about summer being upon us, especially from the heat. But we know that I was looking today in a magazine about all the upcoming events that are being planned. And the more people that are vaccinated, the more we are able to unfold and open up, and the safer we will be in terms of including this in the mitigation process.
Well, I think, you mentioned opening up. I think we're seeing that everywhere now. People, we're coming, I don't want to say coming back to life, but really the community's bubbling, and the excitement, I've never been more excited to see now hiring signs, all up and down the streets. And so to be able to see that and to hear that, events are starting to come back, we're talking with tourism and people are starting, there's the buzz, people are starting to move, and all of this, you mentioned the hub and spoke, it all is connected, even back, last time we talked about, litter, which just drives me insane. But, if we've got all these things, if we got people coming back, to our city, it's like, we got to get our house in order, right? It's, you invite people over to your house, you clean the house, unless you know them really well and you just don't care. But most of the time, you get everything in order. And that's kind of where I wanted to drive, kind of into some of these new community cleanup efforts. We talked litter last time, but it sounds like there's a little more that's, kicking into gear.
Yeah, we've been working with our Operation Cleanup over the past month, and we've had community cleanups with Metro Council members all over the city. I've participated in several. Students from LSU and other community groups have joined us to help beautify our streets. So I want to say thank you to all of our council members for partnering, and for some of the folks in the community who have really embraced this as a community project. When I say people in the community, I mean, residents, citizens, who just said, yes, we want to keep our community clean. We have some women who have been out there for months and who are very passionate about having clean neighborhoods. And so we want to encourage people, if you want to be part of Operation Cleanup and other efforts that we have through our administration, go to safehopefulneighborhoods.com. Safehopefulneighborhoods.com. And listen, you can do your own cleanup in your own neighborhood. We'll provide you with the tools and everything that you need. So we have that going on. We have DPW weekend litter crews that are moving around to lead weekend cleanup details. People love numbers, Brandon. So here's a few numbers.
Yeah.
The Department of Public Works litter crew collected 300 bags of litter over the past weekend, and a total of 3,970 bags collected during weekend cleanups since late February. So we're working hard to address litter in our community.
I'm not going to get on my soapbox like I did last time, but it's a big deal to me. There needs to be, like, I've nearly followed people seeing people throw things out the car. It really bothers me. But I think if everybody gets involved, it ultimately makes the city better, which makes the neighborhood better, which makes your home values go up. It makes, it's the little bitty thing that makes a world of a difference. That
Absolutely.
people think it's a straw or it's a lid. It doesn't make a difference, but it does. So
sure.
So and I think we just had, I was trying to look and see if we had the other one, but just while we were there, as everybody's kind of cleaned up, I remember we just had a couple of weeks ago, that hazardous waste, pick
Oh,
up.
yeah.
So I was trying to see where it was, or when it was down at the Touchdown Village out of LSU, a couple of weeks ago. So.
And we did, and it's always successful when people drop off, the hazardous materials, paint, etc. And the Better Business Bureau also that same day had their annual shredding event. And you should have seen the line of people waiting to get their documents and papers shredded. That's a big business, and people are very want to make sure that personal information is destroyed in this day and age that we live in, for a variety of reasons. One of them, people stealing folks' identities. So I tell you that I know that the line was at least a block or two long. So it was a popular event as well. But yes, our hazardous waste event was popular too. So
I was there. I don't know. It was at the football field.
Correct.
A couple years or a couple times ago or somewhere that I went and literally waited, and it was a line, but you got to get the stuff disposed the right way. It's, we're not about hiding it in the trash can. It's like, do it the right way.
Exactly. So. What I want to see us increase, I'm big about recycling.
Mm-hmm.
So stay tuned, because I'm working with our team to see if we can come up with some ideas to motivate people to recycle more. So
I've got one for you.
You do?
I do. I've had this theory, because I have to profess I'm not the biggest recycler. It's a running joke in my house, but the way I think you can get people like me who are not, religious about their recycling efforts is, and this would probably never go over, but if I had to recycle more because I had less trash pickup, if the recycling, came, like a little bit more, but the trash came a little bit less, it's like either I throw that away or I recycle it. The recycling is going to get it off my street, faster, versus the trash, is, I don't know. I don't think people would go for less trash pickup, but the concept would be, something along that line of finding a way, or maybe getting them to come sooner, to where it forces you to do, some of that.
That's a good point.
It's I think they do it like that in some other, over in Europe. I think they have some places that they literally will pick recycling up more frequent than they do trash, and so you're stuck with the trash for weeks versus the recycling will come sooner. So if you make the effort, you can get rid of it.
Yeah, and I will tell you right now, we only have recycling one day a week. So, but we have garbage pickup 2 days a week. So maybe we need to make that recycling mirror the garbage pickup.
That's, or like flip them, kind of run them, alternate them a little bit. But I think I remember as a kid, they ran us through and tried to do the education and all that stuff. I think it's all about making less friction, making it easier for people. That's ultimately what they want, right? You can educate people to death, but if you can make it easy for them, I think they'll finally get involved with it. So, well, anything else we're missing? Got an update. There's a lot happening.
It is a lot happening, and hopefully I can come back again and talk about what's going on in Baton Rouge. I love this opportunity to talk to our community about things that are going on. As much as we try to communicate through various platforms, I don't think we can over communicate. So I am very grateful for this opportunity to communicate with our audience.
We'd love you to come. I did forget on these projects on this. We talked about the light a little bit, but what people may not realize is we've got a thing is like $52 million worth of projects, moving. We've got, and there's a whole incredible amount of sidewalks, getting, put together, getting people moving around the city. So
yeah,
we didn't get into much of that, but for people who think, what's changing or how does this, what have you done for me lately? It's like, we're building you $200,000 worth of sidewalks, go use them. So
in fact, one of our first WWBR projects was a sidewalk project, and integrated into the fabric of WWBR are certainly sidewalks or the complete streets concept, I would say. So you can look forward to seeing more sidewalks.
Awesome.
I want this to be a walkable community too.
That's Baton Rouge you say that, and I've said that for years. Like people, like when it comes to even getting into downtown, our culture, Baton Rouge is like, I want to pull up and then walk in the door. We're not used to, if you go to New Orleans and you park, out by the Riverwalk and you're willing to walk 6 blocks, but we all do it, but we just don't do it here. So I think as these more sidewalks come, I think it'll make a difference, and hopefully the concept will shift a little bit in people's minds. Reminds me of the old Catfish Town days. Long time.
Yes.
So, well, look, I definitely would love for you to come back. Love getting the updates. It's a lot easier here than like 18 seconds in the news, blip, or it's more personal, and we get to kind of hear straight from the source. So we'd love to have you back, and just appreciate all the work. It's not easy.
I appreciate what you all do for our community, especially in uplifting families, and so I look forward to coming back. As long as you have me, I'll come back.
Awesome, we'll do it. You have a great day. We'll talk again.
Okay, you too.